You're listening to Radio Free Cybertron, the original Transformers internet radio show. You're watching Radio Free Cybertron. For the latest Transformer news, reviews, and more, visit tformers.com.
This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 380, recorded August 27th, 2014. I'm your host, Brian Kilby, and with me this week, we have XV, Rob Springer, Melvar, and Diecast. We had Don Ferguson, but Don disappeared.
Oh.
Everyone look behind you. We know any day now. When he's gone, just behind you. Talking about me now, boy.
Oh, wait, Don! Don, you're here. Rob, God, you should run with it, Rob. Run with it.
Oh, sorry. I was looking like crap. Was that right?
Okay. Brian, I was the other day watching a Brave series, Goo Goo Gaga, and it had this robot, and it...
He sounds vaguely South Pacific.
The problem with my impersonations of friends is, like, they're not anywhere near the person they actually are. It's like some fictional character. Like, I think it was Dana Carvey who really said it best. A really good impersonation sounds nothing like the person you're impersonating. Like his George Bush, he said, "Not gonna do it," all the time. Bush said that once.
Yeah.
You know, and he's right. You go with the things. The next thing you know, it's like Dawn is the supernatural force who like drives around listening to gangster rap, and he's got his cat who doesn't really exist. But the real Don's like this really nice guy who's like my friend, and I really love him to death. And I'm like, I'm glad he's got a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's fortunate.
That helps.
Because he is going to shoot me.
Probably.
Well, that's a possibility too.
Yeah, that'd be...
Oh, somebody thinks they're funny.
So it's going to be a good show. I just popped like 7 energy mints and chewed a couple pieces of caffeinated gum, so I'm feeling pretty good right now.
It's amazing that Rob is just like on his natural self.
I know.
I had a 5-hour at 4 this morning. I'm good.
So let's see here. On the show this week, we have live Q&A with Rob Springer. We have This Week in History and news as always. Gosh.
Any minute now, one of us is going to die.
Yeah. Probably me. It'll be on camera.
He's just going to pop. Yeah, watch out. He's going to come behind you.
I'll wind up on one of those Faces of Death DVDs.
I used to watch it so much.
Yeah. That and bum fights. Were you into bum fights?
Bum fights. And there was this other series my local video store had called Six Sad Asia, which was the creepiest crap. I was like, I don't think this was a legal video. They just had all these series of like black market footage from like weird third world Asian countries. Like, and here's chefs beating a goat to death with a baseball bat. Like, why am I watching this? What's wrong with me? Ice cream.
Nice.
What flavor ice cream?
Vanilla.
I want some ice cream right now. I had a cake. I had a shake from Cookout earlier, so.
I've been outside all day, and it's been like 90-something degrees. I deserve a treat.
You do.
Of course.
So, if you check out T-Formers this week, you'll see reviews of More Than Meets the Eye 32 and Transformers vs. G.I. Joe number 2. I am like way behind on More Than Meets the Eye still, but I am current with Transformers vs. G.I. Joe. What a great comic that is.
So. The only one you really need.
I love it. It's great.
Transformers vs. G.I. Joe is the like big have fun book right now.
Yeah.
This is...
More Than Meets the Eye 32 is like really impressively like. Just, it's been out since a little after midnight last night, U.S. time, on Comixology, and there's been a lot of positive response to it, like, more than most issues have gotten, from my observation. People are, like, really into the storyline that's going on right now. This issue is really, really strong. I liked it a lot.
And James Roberts, one of the writers of that, is going to be at TFCon.
Yeah.
Right?
Has he been to BotCon before?
Yeah,
as a guest. Okay.
He was at BotCon this year.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously, he's at Auto Assembly.
Yeah, he was at Auto Assembly.
Every year.
I'm not going to get a chance to read my comics till probably Saturday, but if every month is an indicator, just a spoiler warning, feels. Going by feels and
kind of, but not really.
I'm going by Tumblr. Nothing's actually right there.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't. They don't do that.
That's a general Tumblr truth. Nothing is right there.
Some of us use it for a handy platform. Okay.
Handy platform.
It's on my phone.
Okay. So moving along. So this week in history, in 1987, Transformers: The Headmasters for the Famicom Disk System was released in Japan.
Now that was a better game than Mystery of Convoy, right?
It was a It was a less terrible, more mediocre game. Yes.
Right. So it was a better game than Mystery of Convoy.
Yes.
It was a game that you could play. Therefore, it was better than Mystery of Convoy.
Yeah, it was not one-hit death like Mystery of Convoy.
It's not.
Or sometimes no-hit death.
Yeah.
Your landlord's beating on the door. Would you shut up in there? Shut up!
Have any of you guys watched the Game Center CX version? Episode where what's his name? I can't remember the name of the host. Played.
Any other day I could tell you.
Yeah.
I love the video game DS games they've made from it.
Oh yeah, Retro Game Challenge is awesome.
Yes, and part 2 is even better, but you got to play it pirated.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
And true fact, guys, if you'd like to play the newest Game Center DX, it's called NES Remix 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's true. But
Carino.
Yeah, but yeah. So
Carino.
But did anyone see that? I watched it. It's funny.
I should have. I really should have. I like that show quite a bit.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But Headmasters is less terrible. If you want to play it, you'll have to, of course, have a Famicom or NES emulator plus the BIOS for the disk system and the ROM for the game. But once you have
that, the dub.
This sounds too complicated.
I'll tell you guys how to get a Famicom with no trouble whatsoever. Go to the flea market and buy one of those little. It looks like a Nintendo 64 controller. It's got the pin connectors where you can just stick Famicom cartridges right into it. Ta-da!
Well,
or you can get a Retron 5,
Famiclone,
which I have right here in my right hand. Retron 5.
Mm-hmm.
I want one.
Yeah, more will be coming out in October, I think.
You were saying that converts everything to HDMI too, right?
Yeah, natively.
Second and Charles over there has had them in stock. I should grab one before they disappear.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, if I was really wanting to do that at this point, I'd probably do that over going software emulation.
Never works out well, does it?
With NES and Game Boy and stuff like that, it's kind of foolproof.
PC Engine works pretty well.
Oh, PC.
I had my Nintendo Wii homebrewed and mostly used that to watch videos and play old video games.
Ironically, I paid for Magic Engine, the best PC Engine emulator, like 10 years ago, and it's so rock solid.
One good one for Genesis was Genesis.
Yeah.
That was... I loved that.
Or Gens.
Yeah, so I've used both.
I love that developer's like, this is the perfect Genesis emulator. Everything's done with dripping blood and crosses.
Yeah. So, but
no reason.
Typically, the best emulation though that I see is on a Virtual Console, and
yeah, that makes sense.
Sadly, it's
that's because they pay developers to make it work with their system.
Yeah, sad. So,
but that's okay because they released the first Mega Man Battle Network to Virtual Console just recently, also known as the worst one in the series.
Nice. So, let's see here. So, let's jump to the news. There are new scans of Masterpiece Starsaber. It shows his gimmicks and articulation. So, is anyone else more excited about this than they were?
I'm pretty much the same excitement.
I want it.
I'm excited.
I'd like to get it.
Not because I'm a Starsaber fan, but because it looks like a really nice masterpiece.
It looks nice. I just don't know if it'll be like $200 nice.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm certain.
I'm trying to talk myself out of $200.
I mean, it's got a little Brainmaster, and it's, two planes, and it's
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my take on this. They're doing a masterpiece of a late G1 design when it was more about, like, toy play function than it was, being, like, a replica of a vehicle that turns into a robot. And I think, it's got both robot modes, and the vehicles can dock together, and it's got the Brainmaster function to some extent, and a little Brainmaster figure. It looks fun.
The Brainmaster figure, it's tiny.
Yeah,
it's the size of a Diaclone pilot. That's
or roughly the size of one of these little Halo Mega Block figures.
Ooh. Yeah, that's it's teeny tiny. It's surprisingly small. The original Brainmaster
I'm not
figure.
that surprised. Actually,
I've never heard that.
Yeah, that was
Zing.
posted to T-Formers today. What? I don't get it. Here's a comparison of the original Brainmaster and the new one. It's just surprisingly small.
Mm-hmm.
Not certain why they went that route with the design, but it's cool. I mean, obviously, the technology to design and create stuff is better now, so they can make smaller, more articulated toys. But you could also swallow that. And
I mean, didn't it have to be small to fit in his head?
Possibly.
To make it so we don't have a giant noggin.
Well, yeah, because we saw pictures on Twitter where the Saber components were compared from G1 to the Masterpiece prototype, and the Masterpiece Saber is actually smaller than the original.
Of course, the original was basically giant block of plastic.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it was Toy Fair. They had a big article, over a decade ago.
It took me a minute to realize you were talking about Toy Fair magazine and not Toy Fair the event.
Yeah, this is a pretty... despite how long that magazine's been over, but this was maybe 01. They had an article on Transformers, and it had a thing saying the biggest ones, and Starsaber was right up there saying it's one of the biggest ones, and it was by the way, giant hunk of plastic.
Pretty much.
Because it is solid.
I just got attacked by a mosquito.
Punch it.
Yeah.
Stab that thing.
Yeah.
Are you podcasting outside?
No.
We should all do that. Just be out on the porch one day. Hey!
I would totally do that.
I would too. That would be great.
It's so unpleasant outside here, though.
Oh, it's beautiful now.
It's all humid.
It's always terrible in Georgia. I don't know what nice weather is.
I'd rather podcast from the comfort of my air conditioning.
I fart so much it's like a swamp in here.
Okay, so Transformers Age of Extinction proved to be really popular. So much so that its success has enabled Hasbro Studios to expand. So we found out that they're bringing in a new... Is he going to be the head? Josh Feldman? He is...
Yeah, he's going to be... I believe he's going to be running the new Hasbro Studios.
Yeah, so they're going to do new live action and animated projects. So that's pretty cool.
Bring on Battleship 2.
Yeah! This time, it's for real.
Maybe a new Joe cartoon or a Pound Puppies cartoon.
Live action Pound Puppies.
I would say Joe would be out just because they dissolved the Joe team. I mean, they would basically have to... If they had new media, they would have to bring back the Joe team and have toys to support it.
Not really, because, I mean, look at it this way. They've got, 30 or 40 years worth of G.I. Joe body parts lying around that they can just combine how they need to. They don't need a dedicated team.
They've got more than 30 years of that, yeah. I mean, for years, seriously, that's what G.I. Joe was. It was just...
Right.
They don't like making Snake Eyes different.
They can make actor likeness head sculpts. They don't need a team for that. They just need to contract out the boss fight.
Yeah.
And then just, put some bodies together from parts they already have. They do not need a G.I. Joe team to make more G.I. Joe product. They can take people from some other project that are familiar with working with action figures and just okay, knock this out in a couple of weeks and then go back to your regular job. It'll be fine.
Yeah, they could totally do that. Mm-hmm. Especially if we are actually going to get a G.I. Joe 3.
And it's a movie toy line. Nobody's going to care anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to your point, you're probably right, because the most of Fairborn is probably an example. They don't need, G.I. Joe team to do G.I. Joe figures.
Well, yeah, and at the same time, too, some of the parts Marissa's made from were parts that were, I think, direct-to-consumer and, Joe Club original. Not originally designed by the Joe Club, but the Joe Club had, half the use of them that they ever got.
Realistically, the Jurassic Park team could do it.
Yeah.
They already used the Joe molds.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Any group they have on hand still that knows how to work with action figures, the Marvel team.
The Marvel team makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at a time. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, they've got the people to do it. It's not really that big of a... It's not like getting the Galoob people to do Transformers again.
Right. I think we're looking at a time where only the gigantic brands have dedicated teams. Because, I mean, really, if it's aligned with 50 figures a year, why do they need to employ its own office?
Yeah.
Really.
I think you're totally right.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much early 2000s again, before Armada, when it's like they'd work. You could generally tell they were switching time on lines.
Mm-hmm. Actually, speaking of Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy passed Transformers domestically for the year. Yay!
I'm really not surprised.
I'm happy.
That was a movie with such universal appeal versus a Part 4.
And this week it should probably pass the Lego Movie and Captain America to be the #1 movie of the year. Period.
Yeah, I'm really not surprised. Transformers is lucky that it came out a month before Guardians of the Galaxy did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Realistically,
I mean, Ninja Turtles came out a week later, and Guardians of the Galaxy, after it had been out for a month, pulled back into the lead.
Yeah.
Over it. So
who really saw that coming, though? I mean, we're all like, this looks awesome, but mainstream success,
it was all in the trailer. The trailer and the commercials did it.
They sold it, man.
Uh-huh.
People at my work were like, that was a great movie. Did you know that's a comic book? I'm like,
let's see if they can do it with Ant-Man.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, what's this one about? Well, he gets small. How's this a superpower?
Oh yeah, as Woozy Tiger and Prime John in the chat are saying, mask. Some sort of mask property would be great.
Yeah.
I agree.
What about our Voltron movie that we were supposed
That's
to
not.
That's
Hasbro.
That's not Hasbro.
Well,
who owns that
saying.
license now? Mattel?
Yeah, I think.
We're not seeing
Mattel has produced from that license. I don't know if they specifically own it, but
Mattel bought Mega Bloks not long ago, so that might be rad.
Because the two movies that we keep hearing rumors about are Voltron and
we've been hearing
Master
rumors about Voltron for like
Robotech.
14 years.
Yeah,
Robotech.
Robotech.
Well, didn't Leonardo DiCaprio buy some sort of share into the Robotech movie?
I hope not.
I mean,
I heard something to the effect. Yes.
I think that would be a guy's like, no, we're going to do this, and I'm going to star.
Wasn't Tobey Maguire's production company attached to that at one point too?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Generally, movers and shakers in the business are like, no, I want to make this.
But look, I want to talk about Rob's idea here more, which is Mega Bloks Voltron. That sounds awesome.
Well, also Mega Bloks He-Man.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm like, that's a great.
The thing is, with the minifigure body they have now, which they've started putting on their Halo figures, I mean, they're also like the best G.I. Joe figure available.
That gun breaks apart into tiny little pieces, like the clip and everything.
Yeah.
What? The zombies? I know the zombies don't have all their articulation, but you get a handful of those jokers out, you're switching parts out, and you're like, I made Jason Voorhees. I mean, it's fun. Right, this one looks like me.
So not being as involved in social media as I should be, I saw this Save He-Man thing on Twitter. What was that about?
Somebody save me! I'm out of business.
Were they not getting enough subscriptions for Club Eternia or something?
If you keep something G1, it'll always sell, guys.
It's the last of the subscription series. This year is the last one for it. And I guess the 5 people that still collect He-Man are
people who are just
upset that's going to end.
Well, yeah, but to keep it going for this last year, most of them bought like 20 subscriptions each. So,
I
clear.
love me some Transformers. But if I have to spend $300 up front to make sure I have another one next year, sorry, Hasbro.
And speaking
That's
of
bull crumpus.
Speaking of the subscription service, third payment was debited from everyone's account today.
Yep.
Well, there you go. You're $100 and something later.
Yeah.
So there's your Chrome Dome rewind and eject.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm on the fence about the next one, but Serpento R.
Me too.
So yeah.
I think next one I might just buy them from the club separate.
I'm really, really curious if in 2016, assuming they have access to the molds, if the subscription is not going to just be like G2 Menasor or like Battle Gaia or something, assuming we get Combaticons.
This one makes me
That
think.
would be the greatest thing ever.
This one
Battle
makes me
Gaia?
think they're just
Yes.
well,
Either,
guys. I always
Battle Gaia from the new Devastator mold. I mean, Bruticus
What?
mold.
Bruticus.
Sorry.
Yeah, assuming they make Combaticons for Combiner Wars, I mean, Battle Gaia seems like an easy club thing to do.
They could do Battle Gaia. They could do Battle Gaia with Follow Cybertron Bruticus if they wanted to.
This is the club,
But
guys.
But
It's gonna
we
come
don't
from
want
Defense
we
Earth.
don't want that. We don't want to have to buy that mold again.
I'm not saying, but
No, guys, and I'm a supporter of the club, but let's get real here. They're gonna make Battle Gaia made from Menasor, and they're gonna tell us on Twitter, well, if you look at the lines on this one, it kind of looks like the box art in like this European release.
no.
You know, now, maybe not calling it Battle Gaia, but like taking the Stunticons and coming up with a new deco for them in the style of Battle Gaia and Guard City. You know, like
Oh, it looked nice.
a third Operation Combination large team. I mean, I don't think anybody would really complain about that.
I just got an even better idea what they're gonna do. Every combiner so far has one limb that's kind of out of place. They're gonna give us the correct limb and put it in the subscription service.
Or a BotCon set, yeah.
They take each limb that's out of place and make the best combiner.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, whoa. Actually, maybe that was Hasbro's plan whatsoever. Like, look, we got something else coming. It's a new guy. Remember when we used to do new guys?
I kind of miss that sometimes.
Yeah.
I miss that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love I just how many of these guys do I need?
Like, something I keep on my desk, which unfortunately has kind of fallen under some papers, but Chopsaw from Hunt for the Decepticons.
Exactly. It's am I crazy here for
Breacher.
saying this is?
Yeah, Breacher.
It's like when I first got the Cybertron Blur, I was like, oh right, a representation of Blur from G1. This is great. And then I got another.
Dive.
Nice.
Pterodactyl.
Yeah.
It's a very
See,
good
a
one.
good new thing.
Yeah.
It's not a curse word. You know? They're saying sales
Flag?
are slumping. Generations are selling great. The fourth movie toys aren't selling good. It's $1 billion movie and the toys aren't selling good. Why? It's the same handful of characters for 7 years. It's like, oh, we redesigned Optimus. Flamin' truck.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Although
Hello, Camaro.
I think that's partly why the only like middle-sized Optimus toy from this movie was not the flaming truck.
Yeah.
Dark of the Moon. By all means, first two toy lines, Revenge of the Fallen stayed longer because it sold so well. It's like, hey, here's another one. This movie made $1 billion. That is a lot of money. By all means, people should be saying, let me get some more of that crap and take home. I can't get enough of this movie. I've already got these guys.
Yeah.
How are they selling? So the movie did well here,
Yeah.
but it didn't do as well as it did in China. How are Transformers selling in China, I wonder?
Probably pretty good.
I'd imagine so.
That's burgeoning. That's why they're putting so much focus there, because they're like, these guys are tired of all these bumblebees. These guys can't get enough.
Well, did they have all the... we know they have Generations, but do they have all the other lines, too? Like the one-step changers and all that stuff? Do you think they have?
Probably.
I'm sure they do.
I mean, shipping it isn't that hard because
Actually, shipping it's easier
because it's there.
Right.
mainland China. That's why places like Robot Kingdom get the new releases first, because instead of going on a truck to a dock to be put into a container to be loaded on a ship that has to sail across the ocean and the green grass grows all around, instead it goes on a truck from the factory to the store.
Yeah.
I thought the factories are in Vietnam now.
It's still mainland Asia, though.
Yeah, you're right. I knew they were transferring, but still, you're right.
I mean, in that case, it's a truck to a train yard to wherever. It's still not overseas shipping that takes literally like 3 to 4 weeks.
Being a guy who's worked in logistics his entire adult life, it's not so much the truck to the yard, it's the guy behind the contract writing up the deal. Mm-hmm. Well, we gotta put it this way to make it safe, and it's really just sitting in a yard like another $1,000.
Yeah, I got it.
Get done.
Yeah, I got it. I love how he absolutely didn't do what I asked him to do.
It seems he did everything else except for Don.
Skype.
It's him this time.
Oh,
someone else has to potty
And
now.
there he goes.
Yeah, there he goes.
That's what you'd get for using Skype's name in vain.
You wordy dirty. Watch your mouth, man.
So, let's see here. So let's go ahead and jump ahead. So, the Allspark Almanac, we are getting a complete version of that. So, they're putting books 1 and 2 together. And it's going to sell for about the same price as the single edition.
So how pissed off are people who bought it on eBay for way too much right now?
Probably pretty.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You can get it for like $7 on Comixology, can't you?
It's just about animated.
It's a good show, dude.
People like animated.
I haven't watched it yet. I bought the box set. I just haven't watched it.
It's not so much. Oh, I just choked. It's not so much the show was good. Those are really good books to just sit and thumb through. Like the extra stuff, all sorts of little fun things. I mean, you can just be like, each page, you can read it 5 times later, and something new each time.
Chris McFeely went through those books and did the annotated version to call out all the little references and stuff and explain, what all that was about. It's full of those little details like that, and, Chris McFeely is one of the few people qualified in the fandom to actually catalog all of that for the rest of us.
He lost 5 years of his life doing it.
Yeah.
That is a labor.
I'm telling Don that I kicked him as soon as I brought him back in. I think he just thought he got disconnected.
Son of a... Nah!
I got disconnected again. No, I didn't. No, you didn't.
McFeely was tweeting a lot and basically, cursing Jim Sorensen's name on a daily basis.
You see, you think it's funny, but right now there's flames erupting behind him. You son of a...
But there's going to be some new content in the combined version, right?
Yeah, I don't know that I need to buy a third one. I probably won't.
Oh.
Yeah. I really love the Allspark Almanac, but I don't know that I need to own a
Hi, Don.
copy.
I need volume.
Hi.
Hello, Don.
How's your evening going, Don?
There's my cupcake. How you doing? Missed you, buddy.
Okay, so Don's new name is Cupcake.
Cupcake? He's like, I got one tattooed on me.
Sprinkles?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Don, your Skype didn't crash the last time. As soon as you came on, I kicked you.
I know, because I didn't realize I cussed, and I apologize.
I've never heard you say that.
It was hilarious.
I didn't even notice it.
I was on the old version, and it was working fine up until the moment we were going to go live. And then...
That's what Skype does. It's evil.
That is anytime you update anything, you're like, I love this. It works perfectly.
Okay.
Son of a...
Okay, I'm going to jump ahead. And we'll get back to the news. So, in Q&A with Rob Springer, we have another question from Trans Fanatics. But Trans Fanatics also asked, I've got it printed out here on paper. Also, just wondering, what program do you use on Skype to record your podcast?
An 8-track recorder?
Don't. If you have any interest in doing anything like this, don't. And if you do, don't use Skype. So, there you go.
Okay, but, I mean, to be fair along that line, you say don't use Skype, but what alternatives would you suggest to Skype as a platform for group podcasting when everybody can't be in one location?
Google Plus.
Get you a microphone
Yes.
from Radio Shack and put it on your phone.
Yeah.
Call it.
Yeah, Google Plus.
At this point.
Yeah, Google Plus. If you're starting from scratch, Google Plus is all inclusive. It will record.
Yeah, I mean, you can record it to YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not the best platform.
It is.
Mm,
For group chat. It's also it's stable. It doesn't require any special software. It's
well, what about all these weeks where Don hasn't been able to connect to?
Don doesn't
Google?
know what he's doing.
Don is also back, remember?
That's why I said it.
Okay, I am not computer savvy.
Don,
Don
you're,
said
on,
he can
you're
get
on
to
Windows
our
98. You're
Hangout.
on Windows 98 for 12 years. we counted earlier today. 12 years.
If it worked, I'll worry about changing.
Don, I love you. You're like family. But I love my grandma too, and she doesn't know what she's doing when it comes to like Google Plus. So
The minute
Don
you
reminds
said-
me of all the people that come in, to my weekend job, and they're like, I don't want to get rid of my XP. They're not supporting it anymore. Yeah, but it's stable. Well, it's not going to be. It's going to be really unstable. Not really unstable, but it's going to have security holes, because eventually people are going to figure out holes, and Microsoft's just like, we're not going to fix that.
no. So Google Plus. I'm just jumping ahead. I love you, Don. I'm sorry about that, but it's
You said Don doesn't know what he's doing. My Skype went out for like a second and came back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait, it just died.
Google
on him?
Plus.
Oh, it was me.
Google Plus. But you know what? Don does know Transformers. So, Don, what do you think about the complete edition of All Spark Almanac? Are you going to pick that up, or did you get the first two editions?
I got the first two editions on the urgings of Paladin for saying I was an idiot if I didn't. So
Peer pressure.
that was a very logical response, as good as the books are.
Okay, so we tied it all back together again.
Yeah, so I ended up buying the complete edition of the Ark because I skipped out on the first part for some reason, and I didn't want to get just the second, so the complete edition I got super cheap.
I'm going to put it out there. No way, shape, or form is Don ever an idiot. So
Oh, God, no. He is not an
No.
idiot.
let's stop that truck right there.
Let's stop that, yeah.
That
Well,
is
I
not
said
bullshit.
if I didn't get it, I would be an idiot because it was such a good book.
Don's not an idiot.
Don, you could not have bought it and still not be an idiot. You are the ultra powerful cupcake.
He is the headmaster, Don.
I will say I am looking forward to the G1 box art book. That's still been delayed.
I want it so bad.
That keeps getting delayed.
Want it
That's
so bad.
That's
driving
gonna be
me nuts.
That's gonna be so beautiful.
Well, yeah, but delay is better than cancel now.
Yes.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
canceled. So, Jim, I know you're listening. He says
Please.
that says that he does. Jim, let us know when this is coming out, or if I really want this. Like, I want this more than most things.
Is it up for pre-order yet? Because I would love to.
It's been a
I've had it pre-ordered for
Really?
months.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Let's not make this a Duke Nukem Forever situation where we wait like over a decade. They fire a new guy takes over, makes it in a week, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really
but I
want
think
this.
it's going to be such a wave of nostalgia for people like me that grew up with G1. I mean, we've got current box art, and then we look at what we got with G1. I'm not a G1er, WNNER. I'm not a G1er because again, RID, one of my favorites. So that by default proves I'm not a G1er.
You're a trans funner.
But I will say I miss the days when, granted, in '84 they had to make packaging that stood out from everything else. I
They still
understand.
have to do that. They
Yeah.
just don't.
Right, but I'm saying with the launch of a line, it was a name that didn't have the weight it does now. But I wish we would go back to the nice colored box art.
Oh, we will. The
But eventually,
Airbrushed, yeah.
current packaging sucks so bad, they're going to have to do something.
well,
The plain white box with Transformers written on it in red, you don't like that?
I thought, to begin with, hey, that's a neat look.
I like it. It
I
just
like-
needs more.
Striking, but it's not
Yeah,
like
it's-
eye-catching.
Yeah.
I,
Well, now,
The bigger problem with that is all the stuff, like all the different lines, look the same.
You can't tell them apart.
here's,
Yeah.
Here's
the trade dress is too uniform.
Here's the thing about the G1 packaging. it was really a thing of its time because you had G1 packaging, He-Man packaging, and Atari packaging all looked like the cover of a Yes album.
That's true.
What is popular in current imagery? Little white rectangles that we hold up to our heads to do everything.
Now, I will say this. I think it was Paladin put this on Twitter about the covers to the Family Home Entertainment VHS boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Those
are cool, too.
Those are masterpieces. I would love for BotCon to find out from Hasbro who did that artwork. Was it a collection of artists? And have them at BotCon, because I would love to have them as guests.
Better idea, Don. Don't just have them as guests. Have them do the cover to a box set.
Oh God,
yes.
That would be awesome.
Whoa,
like FHE at the top, like they do.
Yeah.
Like the KB sticker.
And actually have a VHS tape in there. You're like, I hope this one works.
But no, it's weird because now the titles on the VHSs were created for the VHS releases. Those weren't actually these show titles.
Correct.
Curse of Megatron's butt.
Hey, so did anybody besides me get the Class of '84 box set?
I wanted to so bad, but this thing called work kept me from buying it. I just stuck right to the bathroom, tried to do it on my phone. Like, oh, it's already out.
So I didn't realize, I thought when it was first announced that it was going to be like the figures from 1984 in a box set, it's like a high school yearbook and it's just random Transformers that they wanted to include in it.
Really nice.
Yeah, a little disappointed.
For someone like me who has just about every Creo thing, it's like really scratching me like, son of a...
But yeah, just
I
saying.
don't want to pay way too much.
I thought it was
for
neat
this.
how they did it, and they even gave them like, most likely to succeed or class clown. They did that for all the characters, and of course RC was like prom queen.
Yeah.
But it was neat. I mean, I really enjoy it.
I just thought of it because it's basically like a clamshell VHS cover. That's literally, I mean, it's literally what it is.
Yeah.
That and Creo's great.
Yeah, my love affair with Creo is ending.
Not mine. I'm telling you right now, TFCon, it's going to be Creo, Pink Lemonade, and me and Gregor's having the best time. Hi, Gregor's. He's listening.
Hello. So, let's see here, what else? Cause God, we are going a little long. Imagine that. We didn't have this problem a few weeks ago. I don't know what's wrong.
I don't know what happened.
Let's see here. So, I don't want to show it, but more video from...
Whoa. Family rated, man.
Yes. So, a video from the Mackie Florence collection reveals more toys from the former Hasbro employee collection. So there's video posted at tformers.com. Go and check that out. Basically,
like one video is stuff, some of which has already been sold, like in the first round of auctions, and the other video is like normal, like sealed G1 stuff.
Yeah.
These are just videos from the documentation of what's in the collection.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all necessarily going to have like amazing new discoveries.
But it was really smart. It was really smart that they videotaped the opening and documentation of that. I really liked it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's important to do that just because there is so much in there that is just like ordinary stuff. So there needs to be like a verifiable trail, or as verifiable as you can get, that this is from this collection, if that matters to you.
Yeah.
That black Optimal Optimus, I was just like, or am I thinking the wrong video?
No, it's not the video.
No, I mean, that was, I think it's been up for auction.
It's up for auction now, yeah. It's at $910 with 5 days left.
This is the stuff going into that G2 Minosaur territory of stuff that doesn't exist. Oh, there is one.
Mm-hmm.
This is like really cool stuff, and like, I think Don's with me. We know people right now are like, well, I've had a plan for this one. They're like cashing in one bank plan to buy it.
So where did we see this before? Because I don't remember this.
This is like old school, didn't they?
Like 97 or 98, this black Optimal Optimus
It
showed
wasn't
up in pictures.
Yeah, it wasn't a BotCon thing, 'cause they had a painted one at BotCon, didn't they? I was too broke to go, but I remember hearing.
Unless it was just in, like, maybe the charity auction?
When it comes to these things, prototypes are made of resin, so it's really, first off, holy crap, or is that a test model, not a prototype?
I think this is a test shot.
Okay, so then it's made of the same stuff.
Yeah, like they had a few weeks ago the transparent plastic Transmetal Optimus.
Right. God, I'm trying to think. It was one of those test shots that were really bad people for looking at on ATT type of things. You remember those? Don't you look at that? And everyone's like, "Yeah, I shouldn't." Click. Don't tell anyone else.
Well, I mean, there was the early period of the test shot days where everybody was like, "This is really cool. I am enjoying getting to see this early." And then it's like Hasbro comes along and communicates however they communicate that we really don't want people to see this stuff before it's out to market. And then the ideas started to change about that, and then we didn't really get test shots so much anymore.
That was pre-prototype rule when they put the legal laydown on the sites to quit putting prototypes up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And about the only time at that point in the mid-90s when you started getting eBay sellers like Soupsy or Subsy, Spooky, yeah. That's about the only time you saw prototypes, and that was usually for BotCon.
Spooky also had stuff that was stolen off the truck.
Everything he had was. What do you mean? I went to the flea market and I got it.
No, but I mean, he had some normal retail stuff, not just the test shot. Kind of
like he was the bane of the Hartmans, because he would have BotCon crap up weeks before BotCon, and that was before we knew this stuff.
And such image, if for us that remember, and for anybody else who wants to Google it, the difference in the fan base now and then, because then everybody was like wanting to kill him for this, and now they're like, I haven't seen one thing.
So can you give me that for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, and they're like.
Well, see,
sorry.
A lot of the younger people don't realize what the old guard for BotCon, because we didn't. All we knew was a size class and a price point. That's all we knew.
It was literally like, what was it? The OTFCC twins, when I won't say it, was saying them. Everybody was like cursing them. Like it was like. Now you get this, and people are like, "Oh, right." Spoilers, Twitter, man, screw that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in 2001 with RC and Tigertron. Yeah. John Hartman told me they had RC in the works 2 years planning it before they even made it, and and I, of all people, did not know about it.
Aren't you glad though?
Yes, I am, and that's kind of what I miss.
Yeah, but would you be able to keep it a secret if you knew about it?
Yeah,
he would.
I could.
I've got secrets now. I've been told that I can't tell anybody.
Well, everyone, be careful.
I know things.
Well, old fandom protocol still sticks with some of us, and people have no clue why we do it. We try not to cuss on this because we know kids might look at it. You couldn't do that nowadays. People would go, "Watch your language. A kid might figure out Usenet."
Yeah, I didn't hold to that on Usenet.
Me either.
Pretty vocal.
Well, one username did, but
that was the scariest thing ever. Someone just banged on the wall, and I have my Autobot thing that has the book in it hanging on the wall, and it slid down and made the Autobot noise. I was like, "What the?"
Okay, guys, he's doing it with us watching him now, not while the video's off.
Okay, let's see here. That was at 50 minutes.
I'm impressed that it wasn't Rob this week.
Yeah.
I'm trying. After 3 years of being at an alternative lifestyle of night shift working, I'm like, oh yeah, you have to watch your language in the daytime.
Alternative lifestyle night shift work.
Yeah, that sounds.
Oh my god.
You have to think of it like that, because you say, why are so many restaurant employees on drugs. It's like, well, because when they get off at 4 a.m., they want to have a life too. Unfortunately, the only people out hanging out
are vampires.
Yes.
Or they think they're vampires.
And the sad thing is, it's the sparkly vampires. You can't even get good vampires.
Yeah.
And night shift, when I would usually get off at like 4 or 5 in the morning, I'm like, whoa.
Waffle House.
Exactly. What am I going to do? Like, let me swing by Walmart. I am so sick of these people at this Walmart.
So
I know that feeling.
So we got news of Transformers Cloud, Hellwarp, and Ironhide.
Energon
Ironhide.
Do not bite me.
This is the best and most hilarious thing.
It's kind of it's recursive though.
This line is horrible.
Well, only half.
I saw this on Twitter, and I'm going to slightly rephrase it for the audience. Cloud Transformers are like watching certain styles of movies when watching those other kinds of movies don't do it for you anymore. You have to watch the freaky stuff.
Are you saying it's escalation? So basically, Hellwarp was a repaint or remold of Cybershark that came out with.
No. You're screwing this up. So in Beast Wars 2nd, there was Hellscream, which was the cyborg retool of the first Cybershark toy.
Really serious overbite.
This is, Generations Skybite in Skywarp colors.
Skywarp colors.
So it's Hellwarp.
Yeah.
Hellwarp, not Hellscream.
It's Hellscream.
And then...
Can I say it's hella ugly?
Yeah. So, okay, basically, what XV's saying, if you're watching the video... So, again, it's Cybershark, the new Cybershark mold, in Skywarp colors. He's supposed to be Hellscream, so they're calling him Hellwarp.
Mm-hmm.
He's based on the idea of Hellscream.
Roadbuster's even more amazing.
Yeah, it's like
because Okay, so
he's Energon Ironhide. He's called Roadbuster in Japan.
I know. It's just the toy is so terrible. Why do you want to keep reminding people that you made it?
Here's the funny thing.
No. Energon Ironhide was a great toy.
It's a pretty good toy. I mean, it had vehicle mode.
You've been smoking what for how long?
Roadbuster is an okay toy.
That Energon Ironhide is perfectly okay.
That one actually, I actually kind of like this one. I like this, honestly.
The thing is, I just realized where you guys are talking. You know how people say, "Oh, Transformer fans will just take anything." This is literally the e-hobby being really smug. And they're like, you wouldn't buy this at, like, Walmart.
Oh, wait, this is e-hobby? This isn't retail?
Cloud's e-hobby, isn't it?
It's Cloud, so it's, one of them will come from e-hobby, one will come from Takara Tomy Mall.
So, you won't buy this from Walmart, but you make this Joker $100 an exclusive, we're going to make whatever we want and you're going to buy it.
So,
I probably would buy, this Ironhide or Roadbuster or whatever you want to call it at retail.
The blue looks nice.
Yeah, I like the colors on the mold.
I do too.
Don has 3 already.
I've got what?
You've got 3 already.
Even though they're not out yet.
He's got Energon tattooed on his bicep. He's like, "Oh, son, AEC."
No. You need some of those 4 a.m. drugs because you're tripping.
For those who don't know what Hellscream looked like, here he is.
What he needs is the knuckle tattoo, so AEC for life.
And he's like, his YouTube video.
I will say the colors. Now that these are better photos than I've seen before. I do like the colors on the Roadbuster a lot better now, seeing these better photos. But I would like to see what it looks like in vehicle mode.
This Hellwarp, though, is just the worst thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, you'll buy it.
It's not
worse than the Shockwave.
No, it's
that's
that Shockwave is tough to beat.
And not that the toy looks bad. It's just the concept is just so stupid.
Shock or Hellwarp?
Both, but.
The next release will have gluten-free on the box.
At least if he was painted like Hellscream, it would make sense. But He's Skywarp colors.
I think the best one is probably the Rodimus.
Although
Rodimus looks nice, yeah.
You know, I've been thinking
that's the one that I'm getting. Yes.
Me too. I've been giving this some thought though, and like there are strong concepts in Transformers Cloud. Obviously, the first wave, you know, they started with an Optimus and a Megatron, kind of playing it safe.
They do.
But you know, they did G1 colors on the Megatron retool of Bludgeon. So I mean, that's already a little bit. You know, they're stepping out a little bit there. And then for the second wave, they did Double Dealer as Starscream, which like who would have? But it works because the Blitzwing body type is already like, you know, a roided out Seeker.
I hate it.
So I don't care if you hate it. I'm just saying though. I mean, the concept works, and it's not something you would really think of on your own.
Or buy.
That's Cloud's strength, though. They go way outside the box with what they do, and it works as often as it doesn't.
I'm telling you. Go ahead, Doc, please.
I wonder if the Cloud line has a Bible for.
It's called Acid. Okay.
It's called the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what criteria they have listed that they pick these figures and these characters, because nothing makes sense.
I want to know who they have picking the characters and the molds they use to make them, because I like the way this person thinks.
I'm telling you, they're literally like, okay, what kind of redecos can we get? That's pretty crappy. Make that the exclusive one.
So
people will pay $100 for it.
But you know, sooner or later they're going to make one that all of us are like, we've got to have. It's just
Rodimus.
the law.
Yeah.
Law of averages. So, so jumping ahead to third party. So we have photos of Fans Project 6 Changer, basically in Quickswitch and 6 Night colors, and Quickswitch looks great.
Out of nowhere, again, Fans Project just doesn't show anything for 4 months, and all of a sudden we've got near finished product.
I could swear they showed the prototype for this at TFCon last year.
I thought that was like an outline.
The MFC ones. This looks really good.
Mastermind did Hexatron, but Fans Project showed a prototype for the 6 Night or Quickswitch. I think like last year.
How big is this going to be? Do you think this is going to be bigger than the Function X guys? Or?
I think it's going to be about the same size.
I think it's supposed to be about Voyager size, so it is going to be bigger than the Function series, but way smaller than Hexatron.
Yeah.
Most people, well, a lot of people thought Hexatron was too big to use with like classics anyway. So
well, I mean, so is 6 Shot. I mean, 6 Shot to be a functional gun has to be pretty decent in size.
Yeah.
Like the I think I saw the gun version of this, and it looks just way too small.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so did Quickswitch, though. well, what do y'all think? The Quickswitch colors or the 6 Night colors?
Quickswitch.
What do y'all think?
Quickswitch.
I think I like the 6 Night colors.
I would probably go with 6 Night because I watched Master Force, and that's the like connection I have with the design.
Oh no, the G1 commercial just does it for me. So.
Oh yeah. Turn the makeup.
He's on our side.
Yeah, he's 6 Shot's
He's
son.
6 Shot's son. I love that.
I'll show you, Dad.
Okay.
Join the Autobots.
So remember last couple weeks ago when I canceled like third-party pre-orders? I think I will add that.
Well, and I'll be honest. As much as I do like the Quickswitch original figure, it's not a great figure. I'm sorry. It's just.
See, there was 6 Shot.
6
I'm
Shot.
sure there's a pile of turds I got for my birthday.
Quickswitch.
But he's saying that 6 Shot wasn't a great figure either.
Well, the 6 Shot had the mask to pull some of the stuff off a little bit better.
Yeah.
He was better looking at
You know, I'll be honest. I am somewhat tempted by both. I'm not going to get both, but
you gotta make rent, man. Don't.
You got to make rent.
yeah. But I'm saying, you know, both are very, very good looking.
When can I pre-order this?
When Fans Project decides that they're going to let the stores do it, which could be tomorrow or January.
Yeah, okay. I want
BBT, look, BBTS has had it pre-ordered before it's even announced. They're like, you think you're going to make one? Put a pre-order.
Well,
Fans Project is really strong in making toys. They're just weaker in, like,
Putting them out.
delivery dates and, opening pre-orders with, like, plenty of time in advance.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if Sixth Night will be the Fans Project Core exclusive for the website and Quickswitch be the general mass release.
Probably.
Don't say that.
I'm hoping that they will just, both be available as alternate colors, but you're probably right.
I mean, I'm fine with them just... If Quickswitch is the mass release, at least I can get the one I want. But I just hope for the people that want the other one that it's not going to be only on their website, because that is a pain, and plus you have to pay extra for shipping, and it's definitely more expensive to get it directly from them.
Yeah, well, now the good thing is the shipping does cover up to 3 figures in the same order. It's just if you're only getting one figure, you're paying all that extra.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason
order with somebody, that's great too, though.
Yeah.
That's the reason I didn't get the virus repaint, is because I was like, oh, that looks... I like the coloring on that. I definitely picked that up. And then I'm like, it's going to cost me more than I paid for code. I was like, never mind.
Yeah. So, actually, speaking of Fans Project, they also have... God, I hate the names. Lost Exorealm, LER-02... Kubrar and Takor, which are the second figures in the Lurpo, Durpo, whatever the last one was called.
I
which was
love these names.
the Not Sludge. This is Not Slag. And it's nice looking.
It sounds like we have to... Yeah, it sounds like we have to take these guys to White Castle.
We're going. This is the gang and the Warriors. This is not a Dinobot team. Hey, Lorpa, what are you doing? Come out to play!
I like the overall look. It's just... something about it makes it seem wrong.
It's not slavish to G1?
No,
these are closer to Fall of Cybertron designs.
Maybe
I must say,
the
the photos cannot do these figures justice. I think they look much better in person than any photo can, do of them.
Well, see, I will say that the Minicon weapon actually looks like a weapon and not just a folded up robot.
It looks like a robot when it's a robot, too.
Well, you know what I mean.
No. I agree. The robot actually looks good, too, unlike, a lot of these things.
Where it's just a block hanging off of the guy's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a power core combiner Minicon.
Oh.
Those are pretty sharp, Don.
Oh, I see what you did with the blades and everything. Oh, I see what you did.
Quicker than quick.
Okay, but yeah, so, and of course, we can't have one Dinobot without having 1,000. Toy World's TW, God, I hate numbers, TW-D01 Roar, the Combiner Team figure, homage to, of course, Slag, because we can't have enough Slags.
I love these names still. It's like a
actually,
series
this is
of
Snarl.
numbers.
This is what confused me. We not only have 8 different companies doing Dinobots, we have 2 different companies actually doing Dinobot combiners.
Yeah.
I can't keep track anymore. Or are we sure it's only 2?
I mean,
it could be more.
Yeah, the article says Slag, but this is Snarl, so I don't get it.
Okay, so going back to the Fans Project one briefly, about the names. So the first one, Columpio, is a Spanish word that translates to swing. And Kubrar is not spelled right for one thing, but that word translates basically to shield.
It's the same sound I make when I vomit.
So that's the theme for these. They translate to a word that more or less fits the character and starts with an S when you translate it. So they're kind of keeping to the Dinobot trend of S names.
Sort of like what they were doing with the Predaking that had all the Greek-sounding names, and they referred to the Greek, the Greek mythos of a appropriate character.
But that wasn't Fans Project, because Fans Project was one of the groups that wasn't doing a Predaking.
Oh, that's right.
Anyone else need an Excedrin?
Yet.
You know, but I will say I like the fact that most everyone's on board about folding the Dinobot legs in the back of the leg, like what they did for Scoria and on this one here. Because it's nice not to have just Dinobot legs hanging off everywhere. You know, and plus it helps fill out the heel on a lot of these figures.
How big are these Toy World figures going to be?
I don't know.
They are much more G1, and I like them less.
If I was gonna go in for a set of these, I'd go for the Fans Project ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm going to make my own third-party Dinobots. I'm just going to go by the Dollar Tree and buy those rubber dinosaurs and glue them to some bot shots from Five Below and call it a day.
There you go.
I mean, as of right now, I'm getting 2 sets. I'm getting the Fans Toy set because they're masterpiece style, and then I'm getting the Fans Project set because they just seem so nice.
Okay, the thing with it, Fans Project does their own style. They're not specifically trying to do classics or anything else. They're not completely trying to ape an existing style. They do it their own way. It will fit with your classic stuff if you want it to, but it's not specifically ripping that off.
Yeah.
City Commander was a good example of that too. It's an updated design, but it's not in a specific official style. Toy World, like you said, looks more like G1 Dinobots, and yay, it's not really that creative though, and they might be okay toys, but I'm not as interested. And Fans Project has the credit behind them to actually pull something like this off.
Yeah, Fans Project has a really good track record.
Mm-hmm.
I just want a book of the names they come up with.
Hey, Rob, remember Grindrod?
Yeah, that's what I said. I want a book.
Oh,
Jim, I know you're listening. Get on it.
Speaking of Grindrod,
Brian, get that editing down.
I'm noting my edit points right now.
I thought that was a topic for a second.
No.
no, the BBTS sent out a sale notification, and Aurora has dropped down to $39.99 on clearance.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but I can't get any of the other ones, so it doesn't do me any good.
Yeah.
If I could get Grindrod, that would be awesome.
That's what she said.
Okay,
Good.
so let's see here. What else do we have? One more item. I just want to mention this because it has the worst name ever. KFC is doing their... they've taken that Mugen...
KTC now.
They've taken that mold that was Soundwave and everything else, and it's now Blaster, and they're calling it Ghetto Blast.
Not only Blaster, but they're doing a Shockwave, too.
And a new color Perceptor, because everybody hated the colors of the first one.
That is a horrible mold. They need to let that mold die.
Ghetto Blast is the most racist name they could have possibly picked.
Supposedly, when they did the Soundwave one, it had been improved.
Oh, really?
At least as far as the material tolerances. So, there's a little ball joint on the backpack that connects the scope piece. I don't think that breaks as easy anymore.
But I
They
swear,
didn't, they didn't re-engineer it, but maybe the materials are a little more solid now.
Okay.
it's not. It's still a microscope / tank that becomes a blaster homage.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's horrible. It's bad.
That hurts my head.
I hope people don't buy this so they stop, using this mold.
Well, the more people don't buy it, the more they're going to have to produce versions of it to make the money back from the versions everybody didn't buy. So you're better off just buying a bunch of them now so they can actually put it to bed and move on to something else.
That's awful.
I wonder if I can email them and just be like, if I buy this, will you stop making them?
He's on Facebook.
Yeah.
I keep getting a note, all the time, people you should friend, and he's always on it. So I was going to jump to Q&A with Rob Springer, but Rob...
Rob kind of jumped, and...
well,
he'll be back.
Speaking of KFC or KTC, generally people really like that Captain Sarboza
Sancho Barbosa.
Sancho Barbosa figure. Everyone seems to really like that mold.
Captain Shark.
That's why, because it's Captain Shark.
But the tolerances are much better, and the plastic quality is apparently much better on it too.
Well, if the Mugen scope is any indication, we can look forward to many, many recolors of that mold.
Well, they have, okay, there's actually two planned. One is Skybite, and the other one is based on the Energon Sharkticon.
Maybe we can get Hellwart.
Maybe. Well, they need more colors to throw on that, so I don't see why not.
We need a Hell Cracker, I believe, there.
Hell Cracker.
Hellwart,
I think Rob Springer would actually be pretty down with that if he was here to hear that, because that is fairly metal.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back with Q&A with Rob Springer.
Hopefully we'll come back with Rob Springer.
Yeah.
Radio Free Cybertron will return after these messages.
Wage their paddle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, the Transformers. Robots in disguise. The Transformers. More than meets the eye. The Transformers.
You can hear our show on Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher allows you to listen to your favorite shows directly from your iPhone, Android phone, BlackBerry, or Palm phones. On demand and on the go. Don't have Stitcher? Download it for free today at Stitcher.com or in the app stores. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Know the magic of control destiny, where spectral knights battle evil darkling lords.
Visionaries, knights of the magical light. Visionaries, with magical powers they fight. Visionaries.
It's coming, an amazing holographic world erupting in furious battle as the visionaries fight for the power of the magical light.
Visionaries.
Coming soon from the makers of Transformers.
Visionaries.
Radio Free Cybertron has teamed up with Kokomo Toys and Collectibles in Kokomo, Indiana. If you're in the Kokomo area, visit our store for a huge selection of new and classic toys. Visit online at www.kokomotoys.com for our address and store hours. While you're there, check out our listing of pre-order items, as well as visit our eBay store. Visit us at www.kokomotoys.com. That's KOKOMOTOYS.com. We're also on Facebook. We now return to Radio Free Cybertron.
We are back. Rob has his ice cream.
Woo!
Woo! Ice cream.
We all need ice cream.
We love some ice cream. So
it's Georgia. You eat ice cream.
Yeah. We have.
I'm down with this.
Yeah.
We have some cute. We have questions, Rob. We have questions.
We have questions.
So I actually noted everything you sent, so I need to figure out what's a question.
And you know, I want to let our listeners know the quality and effort we put into each episode of Radio Free Cybertron. He printed them out.
Printed it out.
There's no little sticky note on the desktop. No.
On my laser printer, I moved my laser printer from the office to this office.
At Radio Free Cybertron, we put more than less than a penny's worth of electricity into this show.
Yes.
Yes, we put more than less than a penny's worth.
So, is this a question, Rob, or a comment? Greg Formercy says,
that's my homie.
Can I get a Rob Springer?
Rob Springer is for everyone.
Yes, but you need an inoculation first.
I don't know what that means, Don.
He might be expensive to feed.
It means you need preventative treatment because you're kind of like radiation.
Nah, man. Let me tell you something. Some people are born. Forces of nature happen. I'm in the latter.
Yes. So okay. So
you try to control the storm, baby. You go and get the tornado.
So I do. This is a question. So
this is the rum ice cream you've been eating this whole time, right, Rob?
Oh no, I'm sober. I don't drink till the weekend.
That's hard to believe. So eDogs 20111 asks, does the Blue Rainmaker have a name?
Jimmy from the block.
Is there a Blue Rainmaker?
Yeah,
there's every color.
Is that Hailstorm or is that a fan thing?
That's a fan thing.
That's Nicole's thing.
There's a green Rainmaker, which got turned into Acid Storm in the wrong color of green.
Yeah.
There's a yellow one and there's a blue one. Acid Storm's the only one that's actually had an identity given to it.
Arguably, the Lady Seeker from More Than Meets the Eye could be Slipstream now. That one frame of animation, that was an error, but good lord, ATTC, give it up.
Was there a BotCon version of the blue one? I've got the purple one.
They did that OTFCC Seeker set, the purples.
Because the Rainmakers,
right?
Yeah. I've got that downstairs.
No, but the Rainmakers didn't really become a thing until, like merchandising-wise, until Acid Storm happened in 2008.
I think so.
Acid Storm, a.k.a. Monzo.
Right.
Yeah.
The Rainmakers, that's another one of those fan terms that became real, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
And my favorite one is...
Want to make it rain!
My favorite fan term that became a real term is Generation 1.
Okay. I'm going to tell you guys the real deal, because I'm the realist. Let's not forget it 2 weeks ago. The Rainmakers, Hasbro got it wrong. The yellow one's name is Cecil. The green one is Earl, and the other one's name is Jimmy. They go all around. I'm gonna make it rain up in here. Boom! Here it comes.
They wear shades.
That sounds like Michael Bay's interpretation of the Rainmakers.
Michael Bay wishes he was this cool. Okay?
Yeah.
So you're just making meatloaf videos.
Well, see, actually, in my head canon, all of these background seekers are all part of a subgroup called the Pastelicons.
Have you said this before? I like that word, Pastelicon.
Okay, so Trans Fanatics asks. Trans Fanatics,
our BFF.
Yes, our BFF. Thank you, Trans Fanatics. So, hey guys, since we've already seen 2 Maximals and 2 Predacons in the Generations line, which ones do you want to see come out? I've asked on my page, which you should like, which is Trans Fanatics on Facebook, and there are the ones that some people want to see. Dinobot, we've already seen a Dinobot, though. Pterosaur.
A better Dinobot.
Yeah, it's true. Black Arachnia, Silverbolt, Depth Charge, which Rampage, and Gigatron. So,
how about a better Cheetor while we're at it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're hitting the core ones, we just got a Rat Trap, and it is.
I want a Polar Claw.
Yeah,
we just got a Viacon. I would love to see like a really nice thrust.
I would like that.
Nah, that's not what I meant. But
I'm going to branch out here and go out on a limb, but I'm going to plant this idea in everybody's mind and see what springs up.
RC.
Botanica. Actually, give us a Botanica figure.
No, I
just took a deuce a minute ago. That's good enough, man.
Did you have one of those pills with the guy with the really thin mustache sells on TV?
No, I just ate like TV dinner for lunch.
Okay.
No. See, I have a different idea about how to go about this, which would be to get like
some
Slapper, and Dark Scream, and Gas Skunk.
That would be great. So Botanica, didn't they do Botanica though in that G.I. Joe box set from several years ago? The seaweed that just sort of
there was
waves like this. That's kind of Botanica.
That rumor around at the time, Don. Maybe you remember this. That a couple of guys were swearing Night Viper was intended to be Botanica at design level.
I remember that. Now, Night Viper is a pretty awesome Beast Machines Maximal. And I would not mind seeing that reimagined.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Or maybe even Battle Unicorn in a slightly bigger size.
Optimus Minor.
No.
Yes.
With
his weird hand thing.
We got a Quick Strike homage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
and a Scorponok.
Well, we got that with Dark of the Moon in the car as
yeah,
well.
And it's nice. It's actually pretty nice. Man.
I am a fan of the basic Obsidian mold. Not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
let's make them big stuff, that basic one.
Not the red color, but the original color.
Well, the red.
I got like
that mold.
5 of those.
Yeah, I love that.
Love that toy.
My favorite, though, is Viacon is Scavenger.
Oh,
Okay, how about a Beast Machines Megatron that doesn't suck?
I don't know if that's possible.
I don't know. I was pretty fond of them, so.
Megabolt.
Yeah.
The figure's okay. But
I forgot about that one. Head hurts.
Megabolt.
I didn't forget about it. It's okay.
I'm just wondering, could they make a good, and this is a big could, but could they make a Beast Machine Silverbolt that didn't suck?
No.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Good question.
They could.
It would still. It would look like Beast Machine Silverbolt.
How long ago was that? How long ago was that?
That was 1999, 2000.
So there's teenagers now that have been alive my entire period of disappointment with that toy.
Nice.
and you can say the same thing about Night Scream.
Thing is, Night Scream, as crappy as it was, didn't really bother me that much. I was just like, that's a bad toy. Like, it didn't want, but that I think it's just because Silverbolt was just like, dude, it's Silverbolt from Beast Wars. I know he's kind of sucky in the new show, but it's Silverbolt. This is a character I love.
When was Silverbolt not sucky?
I loved him in Beast Wars.
I love Silverbolt.
I love
I like the toy. The character is just
I want a new Silverbolt figure with a button that you push. It goes.
I will admit, back in the 90s, I liked Silverbolt, but I've grown up.
I have too. Loved that song.
Okay, how about this? How about, do you think we could do better than Tigerhawk, than the one we got?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You can simplify it, but I think the best thing to help Tigerhawk would just be more paint.
Maybe
we got that in Universe.
Well,
no, I'm talking like Tigerhawk colors, but actually like a complete deco.
Actually, so since we're talking Maximals and Predacons, I'm just going to go ahead and say we're talking about Beast Wars. I'm going to skip to like Stampy. I want another Stampy, by God.
Sir, I want a leader stamp. I want a masterpiece stamp.
I want a masterpiece Stampy.
I do. Let's go find me.
Still working scissors.
Yes.
Or I could take another Heinrad.
I love Longrack.
With like articulated testicles.
Mm-hmm.
I love Longrack.
I honestly do love Longrack. I do love Longrack.
A new Longrack would be that and Beast Wars. Now, was it Neo or 2 Galvatron?
2.
That's 2.
2.
People say that mold is aged. I don't care. I still think it's great.
Yeah, but no, like I would have to, Heinrad though would have to jump to the 21st century. He'd have to be digital.
You know, they do not have to make a new toy of this, but I'm gonna put it out there. This is like the 3rd or 4th U.S. version of this toy I've released. Can I get a Killer Punch already?
Exactly. Thank you.
I mean, I'll buy it again. Those Neo Dinobots I can buy over and over again, and I have.
I just keep giving them my money.
We're talking about the cloud service, and I'm like, you know what? Triceradon or Gildart or pick a name still is a good mold and not turned to cheese yet.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow, this mold. Let me get a Killer Punch up in Generations. TFSS.
You know what? If they do new Maximals, they could do add-in pieces like, say, the little cave girl, like Ugwigwig.
Yeah.
You could add them in as little bonus pieces in with the set.
I'd be fine with that.
I'd love for it to be a horrible toy. But you mean ugly?
Yeah, it would be a terrible toy.
Oh, I know. I got it, Brian.
Oh, yes.
A set of the 3 Cyber Raptors, so you can have them jumping up and down on tarantulas.
You're going about this the wrong way. The Raptors are Target Masters.
How about
you gotta make this a toy to sell at Walmart, man. One-step masterpieces.
Yeah.
And I would buy it. Your tears provide me substance.
How about Armadillo?
No, like if they went for more generation's Beast Wars characters, I'd want to see Pterosaur on the short list.
Yeah.
Pterosaur is way overdue for that.
Or Tarantulas.
You know, I'll be honest.
Scorponok.
Yeah. I kind of like the Tarantulas mold. I don't know if they can make it that much better or not, because I like the Tarantulas mold as is.
They can make it better.
Yeah, they could totally make it better.
Airazor.
Yes.
Yeah.
They could make it better, but going by my experience with the Beast Wars updates to this point, they won't.
Well, they got to make a non-show character to do it.
So basically, right now we're just naming all of the characters from Beast Wars because we love Beast Wars. So I think we've moved on to what we want.
But in all seriousness here, let's get a new Transmetal 2 Scourge because I want that design without psoriasis.
Yes.
I remember liking Scourge a lot when it came out. But
yes, when it still had its chrome.
Hasbro likes chrome right now, so you know they may re-chrome it.
And no clear plastic on the wing joints.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
I'm fine with that. Actually, you know, if we get another Dinobot, I would want Transmetal 2 Dinobot. I like the design.
Yeah, I love that design.
I like that design, and, you know, I just think they would make a better toy. And again, Transfanatics asked what program we use for Skype. Don't use Skype.
We have a micro cassette recorder.
Like, to do the podcast, it's way less complicated than it used to be, but it's still overly complicated. I was trying to explain to Weird Wolf from TFYLP how I do the podcast, and I couldn't, and I'm like, just continue using Google+. So.
You know, earlier when you said that, Brian, you made me think of, there used to be a Shock Jock on in the area, but the radio station changed formats, and now he's in Chicago. They actually talked about him just recently on Laser Time Network, Kid Chris. And someone wrote and he goes, "Hey, how do I get in a radio?" And he was like, "Don't."
He was in Philly for a little bit till he got kicked out of Philly because he had one of the wrestlers on and he started like cursing on the radio, and they got rid of him.
I think Atlanta a year was his longest stint.
So getting on the radio is not hard. Especially
staying on the radio.
Yeah, staying on the radio is hard. So, but the thing is about being in radio, if that's your full-time job and that's what you know, you are pretty much worthless if you lose your job because you're never going to get like another job again that pays. Not that radio pays well, it doesn't, but you have no experience. So
and let's face it, we're stealing their thunder.
Yeah, podcasts are like I work.
Radio star.
I worked in radio at a small market radio station.
Atlanta radio is all shuffle stations now.
Did it for 16 years, and I recently just stopped, and I get my fix doing this.
On Route 66.
Yeah. Radio, you're not going to get rich.
Our local... Let me put this out there like this. Our local college radio station, which has been on forever, recently got sold out to PBA.
Public radio?
Yeah, we already have an NPR station in the same city. So daytime on College Station, when people are listening, is all NPR, and after 7 to 4 is the college radio station stuff.
Like, I'll say this: so the
college radio can't survive.
Our network right now is just basically RFC. We have more listeners than the radio station that I work for has, and it employs like 12 people. Radio's not really the best place to go.
There's this thing called Pandora.
Yeah, so
people are like, "Oh, I don't have to listen to Nickelback."
But again, if you want to do this podcast thing, and I'm not going to stop you, and I can't stop you. There probably are too many Transformers podcasts, but that's partly our fault. Again, I'll point out because what was the first geek podcast of its kind? Us. So Transformers fans are kind of feel entitled to having a Transformers podcast. So there's pretty much always been one. But with that being said, though, if you're going to do it, yes, and I did take credit for that. But damn it,
real talk.
I did do that.
Real talk. There's a lot of Transformers podcasts, but keep them coming because your voice is your own, and if you can put your own show out and say it without somebody else telling you can't say it, like on another website or whatever, by all means do it.
Yeah,
nothing is stopping you.
Yeah, sure. Do that.
Say it sucks. Say you effing hate it. Say you love it. Whatever.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, do it on your own. Be like, hey, look, I made my own thing.
But don't tell anybody about it. don't publish it. Just record it and save it to your hard drive.
Or I don't know, burn it to CD or
Make
something.
It's too hard for people to find Transformers podcast today anyway. Because thankfully we still come up first in like any Google search, but there's too many of them.
I mean, you could go and do like a Brave Star podcast.
Yes, do a Brave Star podcast or do a GoBots podcast. But no, you don't have to do a Transformers podcast. There's no reason to do that. We got that covered.
Pacific Rim podcast.
Yeah, do a Pacific Rim podcast.
I'm going to start my Pacific Rim podcast right now.
But I am going to say this. Because
Welcome to Punching Monsters.
Because by God, this is true. So if you look at, there are a lot of Transformers podcasts. Compare it to other popular series like Ninja Turtles and He-Man or G.I. Joe. They're not as many. Again, why? Because we were 7 or 8 years ahead of the curve.
Because we're the realists.
Because if you look back at like all the people who started doing podcasts back when people actually started doing it, who were they? They were fans of RFC. And they were filling the void because we didn't do RFC.
Hey, Brian.
We're kind of awesome.
Brian?
Yes.
You're a legend.
We are a legend.
No, you're a legend.
We are a legend.
I have you written on my
The three
wall.
of us on the top of the screen, we're legends. Don, Melvar, and Diecast, those guys are awesome too, but we're legends.
Am I on the top of the screen? I totally can't tell.
You can't watch the video.
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Actually, Don's a legend too, but
Don is a legend in my house, man.
Don is internet. Don is
a fandom legend.
Don is a fandom legend, but he's a
we're just podcasting.
He is a genuine fandom legend.
Melvar and Diecast are legends to me, man. Those are some cool bros.
By association, they are legends.
You know what? I just liked them anyway.
I love those guys.
Me and Melvar like drink together.
We're like that.
Melvar doesn't remember it because he's a raging alcoholic, but slow down, man.
Hey, nobody's perfect, okay? We all have our problems.
You're pretty perfect at that, man. You popped that joke open with
Why do you think he's not on the internet? He's so drunk he can't figure out how to get on it.
Why don't you twit this?
But yes, so
it takes a great deal of self-control to be lucid enough to be on every Wednesday night. So.
Yes, that's true. So if you want to do if you want to do your Pound Puppies podcast, use Google Hangouts. That's the way to go.
Let's do a Pound Puppies podcast.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so
blah 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 Digimon.
So that's Radio Free Cybertron for this week. Don't forget, we are the world's first Transformers podcast. One of the world's first podcasts in general.
You've been harping on that for the last 10 minutes.
I have to mention it once in a while.
Once in a while?
Well, I have to explain why there are more Transformers podcasts than basically anything else.
But where else do you get free cat attacks?
Yeah.
Well, really?
They infer it anyway, I hope, but I'm just explicitly saying
they
it.
Infer it.
A lot of podcasts. We seem to be the only fan base with the third party situation. Transformers is onto something, guys.
I don't know if that's true anymore.
Maybe not.
I think third party is encroaching on other fandoms.
Maybe, but we seem to shut our stuff.
Where it's a problem.
I always wonder.
In a very unique place with the third party thing.
You would think that Transformers would be. You would think that Transformers would be one of the later places, since a third party toy is way more complex than, say, a third party He-Man toy.
Or a G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
I can buy third-party Lego accessories at Five Below or Toys R Us.
That doesn't count. But there are. I have bought some.
Actually, it kind of does.
You can buy third-party Legos on eBay.
That's knockoffs, though.
Yeah, they are knockoffs, but I guess.
Well, and when you get right down to it, so are the third-party Transformers. There's stuff using the same design styles and intellectual properties, just without authorization, and that's what Lego likes are pretty much.
But Lego likes are legal.
But Best Lock is solid core. I can't even finish.
So that's it. So that's the show.
Hey, Brian, one thing I need to try and close out. Last week, Hasbro announced they'd be working with 3D printing on
Shapeways,
other properties, not just MLP.
Awesome. Transformers, I saw that, yeah. Let's go into that next week. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Yeah.
I think that'll be good. We'll talk about it next week. I think that's interesting. Yeah. So, okay, so that's the show. Don't forget, if you want to do your Littlest Pet Shop podcast, just Google plus Hangouts. There are enough Transformers podcasts. So we'll see you later. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody.
This has been Radio Free Cybertron. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Watch our live stream at tfradio.net/live. Join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TF Radio Network. Have a question or comment? Leave it on our Facebook fan page or mail it to contact@tfradio.net. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons license. Any part of this podcast can and should be redistributed, but please, proper attribution is required if you know what's good for you. Radio Free Cybertron, the original Transformers internet radio show since 1999. 100% girlfriend free since 1999.